Samuel, prophet, priest, and judge. Samuel was born to Hannah and Elkanah after Hannah's fervent prayer for a child. She dedicated him to God's service, bringing him to serve at the tabernacle under Eli, the priest, while he was very young. His birth and dedication marked the beginning of a new era in Israel's history. He served in the tabernacle from childhood. He received God's call as a young boy. His first prophecy was of judgment against Eli's house. He grew in stature and respect throughout Israel. He became known as a reliable prophet of the Lord. Samuel served Israel in a multitude of roles. Samuel is considered a judge of Israel in the Bible, specifically recognized as the last judge before the establishment of the monarchy, meaning he held both a prophetic and judicial role. He was a faithful man in corrupt times. He was an established and trusted prophet. He was a circuit judge traveling between cities, deciding on matters. He was a leader during the transition to a monarchy. The prophet Samuel helped in establishing the monarchy, the first monarchy of Israel, in that he anointed Saul as the first king of Israel. He guided the transition from the time of the judges to the time of the kings. He continued as a spiritual leader. He anointed even King David, the successor of King Saul, and he maintained his prophetic voice for both kings. Some of the key themes in the story of the prophet Samuel. We see a divine calling in that he is called even as a young man to serve the Lord. We see transitional leadership in bridging the gap between the two historical periods, those of the judges and those of the kings. We see the prophetic authority in how he was always able to speak truth. We see faithful service. Samuel dedicated his life from when he was a young boy to his last day, a lifetime of dedication to God. And we see the development of the nation even as the life of this great prophet develops in how he guides Israel and the growth of this land and God's people. The prophet Samuel was there for the transition in Israel's history from the period of the judges to the period of the monarchs. He was a prophet, a judge, and a leader. And he was influential in ways that we might never even fully understand in the development of Israel. Chosen by God as a young boy. Become a member of the channel and get exclusive members-only content, courses, articles, audio, and much more, all in one place. We add new materials every single month, and we'd love to have you. Check out the links in the description or in the links for the channel. Some key points. His birth came about after his mother prayed and petitioned God, promising that she would devote him to the Lord. He was dedicated to God by his mother. He was called by God audibly. He was a prophet of Israel. He anointed Saul. He anointed King David. He was a judge in Israel. He warned about the monarchy. He confronted King Saul and he mourned King Saul. He was the son of Hannah and Elkanah, born after her years of barrenness. He served under Eli. He received divine revelations, and he established the prophetic schools where he taught people the ways of God. He was the last of the judges in the nation of Israel. He was an intercessor for the nation of Israel, and he offered sacrifices. He rebuked King Saul, and he was a respected leader, a spiritual authority, and he lived in Ramah. He wrote historical records of Israel, maintained his spiritual integrity all throughout his life, and he was a mediator between God and the people. His legacy is his faithfulness to the ways of God and to God's people. Let's look at the lessons. A positive lesson. Samuel received an early calling in life as a young boy. Some of you, right from youth, have a sense of what you should be doing in this world. And for Samuel, right from the beginning, it was decided what this young man would be. He was faithful to the end, even in difficulty, even from a young boy. Sometimes as a man, what you are meant to do in this world comes upon you right from youth. You know what you're supposed to do, where your place is in the world, and your job is to go after it. A main lesson. The prophet Samuel was obedient. He played his role in the transition very well. He was the last of the judges and of the prophets, and he did not try to move towards his own ambition. He did what he was commanded by God and what the people demanded of God, and he gave them a king. He did not try to hold on to power, and he didn't say, why shouldn't I be your king? Or why shouldn't I continue to be a judge? Why am I not a good prophet to you? Am I not someone who serves you? He did not try to maneuver and keep the power for himself. If his role was to transition the nation of Israel away from the time of the judges to the time of the kings, that's what he was going to do, because that's what God had commanded him, because that's what the people had demanded of God. Yes, he did warn them about the dangers of monarchy as God had showed him, but that's what the people wanted, and that's what the Lord said must happen. He did not try to hold on to that power because he was obedient. A notable point: faithful from a child. He walked with God from a child. He was able to always say the hard things. He said it to Eli about the wickedness of his family. He said it to the people when he warned them about the dangers of monarchs. He said it to Saul when Saul had lost his way. He said it to Jesse when he was picking King David and not David's brothers. And he said it to others all throughout his life. This man was always able to speak the hard thing because he walked with God all his days. He feared only God. Samuel, I believe we do not even know the depths of the impact he has had on the nation of Israel that still reverberates through history today. And that impact is what the nation of Israel and the Jewish people have been able to use to impact the world. A prophet, a judge, a leader, a teacher, an author, a historian, a boy in an ephod.
Nkosi, Nkosi Sikelel, Nkosi Sikelel, Sikelel, Iafrika, Malupakanisu, Malupakanisu, Pondolwayo, Izwa imithandazo, Izwa imithandazo yethu, sibe moya munye, sibe moya noma sekunzima.
Become a member of the channel and get exclusive members-only content, courses, articles, audio, and much more. All in one place. We add new materials every single month, and we'd love to have you. Check out the links in the description or in the links for the channel.